To the north, it is. There are these folks you can chat with, and then there's, of course, the stores that are down below if you really like to get some stuff done. But, honestly, we can just go. Barnaby Shoals. Bartleby Shoals? Oh, that's nice. So, yeah. Roland hanging out. I mean, he and his little friend there, they don't seem all that powerful, which is why Krill was probably able to just say, ah, no, I want to get that treasure. Not paying any attention. No brain in that boy's head. Okay, there we go. A lot of this stuff is kind of hidden in some interesting places, so good to pay attention. But anyway, this area is not one that we really need to explore all that much. If we're coming back through, which we will come back through, we're going to go down there and then we'll come back out that way. But anyway, now it's time to go out to the open road, or the open reef, the sands between. Hold your seahorses, kiddo. Just to make sure. Him from slurping you right out of your shell. So, something very interesting that is introduced in the sands between here is that we have a very unique enemy that is going to appear. That is pretty much persistent throughout that entire area. But yeah, anyway, let's go. The north is the Enchanted Grove, which is where we're headed first. Flotsam Vale is the company town of Shellfish Corp. And west, well, the captain's map is pointing us north. Get us there and we'll discuss the next steps. So as I said, there's a persistent enemy that exists in this region. The way to avoid him is by staying as close to this path as possible for pretty much as long as you possibly can. Oh, hello. So probiotic, which I just grabbed here, is pretty useful in relation to kind of getting a little bit of extra health. It heals you over time, so you have to be careful with how you use it, of course. But anyway, so like I'm indicating, so if you stray too far from the path, well, I'm sure that I'll have the opportunity to show it shortly. I just want to do it in an area where I feel like I can get my stuff back. There we go. So, these rings, as they mentioned, are scented, which means that as long as we follow the path that these rings lead to, we're pretty much safe from the monster they're in. Forgot I got that uppercut, too. Oh, that might actually be really useful for me here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to use another crab for stream funsies, because here we go. Let's charge off into the path. And now, we have Pagurus the Ravenous. So Pagurus introduces first and foremost this fear ability, which allows him to poison you as such. He also deals a ridiculous amount of damage. And he can uncover these things down here. finally, he will eat anything that he stabs. So when you see the red, he is basically, he's about to, yeah, it's an instant kill. So yeah, you really don't want to mess around with him if you can help it. The good news is I had my little sand dollar, so I could avoid losing what I needed. And to be honest, the F key, as funny as it is, it's not something that is really going to be as useful to me right now as I may need. So I'll save that for right now because I definitely need another shell. But yeah, so you're gonna want to stay away from that. It is a fun little challenge to try and see how well you could do. But the risk is much higher than the reward at this particular point in the game. Better to just stay out of his way. So I got this. A U-Cult, I think it's called. More the merrier, basically. I think ironically, if I used this, I probably could survive for a bit longer, but the big problem is that I don't really have enough, like, when I fought him before, you know, I've usually had shells that were this weak, or I've usually had stuff like that, so it's something that you really want to make sure that you're equipped and you're statted up if you really want to do it. Otherwise, you're just kind of sacrificing your life. But anyway, I don't need to go over there because I already have stuff that I need. I didn't lose anything off of this, so oops, I don't have any barbs anymore. So yeah, that uppercut is very useful. If you're really good at perfect parries, and you're in a situation where you're like, well, you know, this person is like literally a second away from getting put into a stunned state, then that's probably the best situation to find yourself in, where you have that ability and you can use it properly. I wonder, I mean, I don't know. I keep talking like there's a real strategy to kind of what shells you should pick up and how you should be making all that work for yourself, but the truth is that it kind of, I mean, abilities, sorry, not shells. It kind of depends on what you value most in the game. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's hidden in the later abilities. Stuff that, to be honest, is like way more useful than its earlier parts. Oops. That shell thing is basically a free perfect parry in case you could. Oh my god. Alright, well. Here's the good news. As long as you run back into this area, you can just avoid him. Let me see. Let me get him. Oh! That was, not smart. Not smart at all. I feel like there was something back here. Maybe I was imagining it. I was imagining it. wait. Maybe I wasn't imagining it too much. I know there's something. I know one thing that's up here that's going to be useful to me, but turns out it's two. Get an extra shell too. I need to swim. Oh, come on. Those guys don't deal damage, which is kind of fun, but like they do bounce you around a lot, which is not ideal. Phytoplankton. What does that do again? You get a little bit of umami off of heart kelp. So you see that these start to become more useful the higher cost they have and the more you find there. But anyway, we get a nice shortcut, and more importantly, we also get a point to save so that we don't have to get booted all the way back to New Carcinia next time we die. So yeah, I don't have enough to upgrade myself here with anything, but I can keep moving. You don't take fall damage in this game, thankfully. Because why would you? It's in the ocean, after all. Whoops. Wrong button. Alright, and I'm also headed the wrong way. Cool. I don't know why. I think maybe up is the map in something else I've been playing recently. It can be that, you know, in certain games, which had me confused. Yeah, it's always nice to kind of like, it's hard to do that in certain parts of this game, but you always want to try and explore every path that you can. As I'm sure is kind of like a tenet of most Souls-likes. Oh. Well, that stunned him. That brought him to stunning range. Whatever works, I guess. Yeah. These do become a little harder to see as you're making your way through, like the actual path that you need to take to control. But if you're looking at the ground enough, then you can generally pull it off. Love that uppercut. It feels so good to hit. Like, you need to, that's one of those things where I feel like you need to just get that pretty early, honestly. The defensive stuff is just too valuable to avoid in case you run into situations where you're not being as careful as you can be. Extra barbed hooks. And we are now at the edge of the forest, which, as you probably could glean, was going to be a undersea forest, an underwater area, an underwater location of some kind. Oh my god. What is going on with my controller? Cool. He just decided to run off. Stand by, please. Oh, no. What is going on with him? Krill, please. Please don't. Oh, what the hell? Okay, give me another second. Sorry for the issues that we've been experiencing here. I'm not entirely sure what happened with that one. Or what's going on here, either. Oh, no. No, dude. Please. Okay. I just need to disconnect and reconnect. So here we are now at the edge of glory. Let's see if we can't find a shell. A close claw. Let's chat with our friend here. Hey, how's it going? You again, Vagabond. I'm pleased you survived. Whoa, I barely recognized you. You're the guard from Slacktide. Slacktide, right? Nice hat. Indeed. Chitin's my name. However, I have shed my title. I was foolish to have pledged my sword to a lord so easily swayed by greed. You understand, don't you? The consequences of the fall of Slacktide. No one there to guard the bridge? Far more serious, Vagabond. When annihilated, Slacktide was an infection. At first I thought it was a pollution of the body, but now I suspect it stems from the mind. Regardless, I believe it was the Duchess's greed that invited it into her lands. And until those like her are annihilated, the infection will spread and spread and spread. For this purpose, I have arrived at this grove. So you came to the grove to kill someone? In a sense, I came to grow in strength. The way through will not be easy. It appears the polluted bandits have overtaken this place. But I believe somewhere within lies a master who may grant me greater power. Power that could destroy the ruler of the reef. The ruler of the reef? You mean Roman? I met that guy. He seemed like a real jerk. I don't blame you for wanting to take him down. You came face to face with the tyrant and you failed to strike him down? Look, I mean, I was in town. And he was super far away from me. I wasn't gonna fight a guy I just met. If I wanted to, his bodyguard probably would have wiped the floor with me. Know this, Vagabond. Anyone can identify evil. It's nothing special. If you're unwilling to lay your life down to correct this world's cruelty, what use are you? Well, I don't see you rushing to fight Roland off the bat either. Maybe I'm here to get stronger so I can take him on. You think about that? We shall see. You must be strong to survive this long, Vagabond. Use your strength to strike down this world's evil, or it's for nothing. Well, I'm gonna do that. But first, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna activate the shell. So like I said, I'm having some trouble here. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting alternative paths and things to look at as you make your way through. I really like that this game has such a detailed progression to it. It's not like ridiculous, but it's definitely something that like lends itself to you wanting to look around a little bit to see some stuff. Hey. What is built will return to sand, and what is forgotten will reemerge. Our home, our brilliant home. Cool. Awesome. You seem like you're doing well. Oh, I'm in a cart now. I'm a la carte Krill. Let's go back down here. And let's make our way in. So mason jar on my back, a little bit of extra health, but and more in the way of defense actually. Plus the shards work pretty well. But mainly, I think it's time for us to do this. Had to make sure I was heading the right direction there for a second. Alright. Into the forest. Oh well. Not doing so hot, are you? Oh hey, how's it going? Firth. Yeah. Lovable country bumpkins, huh? Real salt of the earth types. Oh well. Maybe people should have been paying attention to that. I don't know. Also, why do you have like a... How does he have a cactus down here? That seems really bad! Dude, it has nothing to do with living out in the country and more to do with the fact that everyone's killing each other. Like, there's a little bit of a class warfare kind of thing that's going on in this game. The Expired Grove. I feel like anyone who's paying attention can pick that up, though. But there's definitely it's present. 2 barbed hooks, 3 barbed hooks. I remember there being something interesting over here, so I'm going to fight this big old guy. Oh! That killed him somehow? Yeah, the slinker. So, that one I think was really, really useful. Oh! Oh my god, I forgot about these guys. These guys with the arrows deal so much damage. And their close range attack also deals a lot of other damage to you as well. So it's very hard to win with them. On the plus side, when they say now, when they die, it's extremely funny. The Old World Whirl. Additional umami charges. So yeah, this was the right path to take for certain. I'm going to take a wild guess and say this was how I would have gotten up here to kill him if I didn't already have the ability to kind of pull him down. Alright, so we have a thimble. We have one of these. I would say we're good right now. We can make our way. Side here on the left has some extra goodies for me to grab, so I'll get after those first. Also, you can fish in this game. I don't know if you knew that. But yeah, a little extra item discovery as we go. Focus on these guys for sure. Especially if you have the extra abilities needed to punish them properly. Anyway, these guys are just your standard crabs, honestly. They don't really deal extra damage or anything like that. They're just kind of more styled for the region. Oh, whoops. Missed timing there. The other annoying thing about these guys is they jump when they shoot. So, even if you're kind of slightly hidden by the area here, you might still run into a situation where you have to worry about them. Oh, God. Missed timing there. Oh, yeah, I forgot I could do that. Don't try this at home. The, fighting those guys without a shell unless you're ready for the drunken claw. As I said, extremely satisfying to hear those guys die. Oh! Could not get in there the way I wanted to. And now I'm getting pulled. Now I'm getting griefed. Almost died there, but we're good. Alright, let's get up here. Because I saw something up here too. Little colander. Or a strainer, actually. Strainer. I feel like... I don't remember if you could just run up there or not. But, oh, that's right. Here we go. That usually is intended to launch you in a specific direction, but if you are skillful enough, you can kind of change positions in midair and make use of it however you like. It's pretty useful, honestly. Like, I think that again, like, this game having very well dedicated traversal tactics to it is like one of the things that separates it from a lot of other games like it. Well, I said that they don't deal damage, and look at me die, you know? This isn't the actual direction that I need to go, but I remember there being something over here that was useful to me. The good news is that when you kill an enemy with the purple eyes on them, you keep the crystals off of it, and you keep all the crystals that you've broken as you go. So it is obviously kind of your Souls-like. Well, okay, cool. Your Souls-like progression, where you do have to worry a little bit about not dying as many times as you know, you could, basically. But it's less of a scenario that you have to find yourself in, where you have to get everything on the way over, you know? It's mostly just your jump. Oh, cool. Metal shells usually give you shell shock, as you can see here. Shell shock is basically, regardless of whether you're doing a perfect parry or not, the shocks allow you to basically perfect parry your opponent. So worth getting, for certain. Okay, not. Absolutely did kill me. I thought I had him there. I think it might have been one more hit. Maybe I'm just not dealing as much damage as I would hope for at this moment. But it's fine. We're good. We actually have very little to worry about at this particular point here. Once I collect this back here, then we can make ourselves a little encounter. Oops. I like how they usually stay knocked over if you're able to parry them properly. Even if you're able to get like that bigger hit on them afterwards too. Ice cream. Which slows them down. been kind of funny. Let's see. That's down there, no problem. He's no problem. Oh, cool. It was worth it after all. Maximum health. Yeah, no big deal then. And it brings us right to where we were hoping to get to. Which is our next mini-boss. Disease lycanthropy. So this guy has a bit of a fun suction ability. I say fun because it doesn't necessarily kill you in one hit, but it is pretty brutal to have to deal with. And it's a little hard to get away from it if you're not prepared to deal with it. There we go. As you can see, not nearly as much damage as some of the stuff I've had to... I've had to deal with up until this point, I said. I think I've died more here than I've died, previously, in the previous regions. But this is kind of meant to be your, I don't want to say your proving ground, but like, this is where the game actually starts to be a video game, I think. Is more what I'm getting at. Like, before you just... Oh, come on. You're just kind of getting to grips with the skills and stuff. And now you're kind of in a situation where you have to deal with, well, come on. At least he only bites you twice. Have to worry, obviously, with him munching and crunching. If you're really not good at dealing with multiple enemies at once, then that's going to be your biggest concern here. They do have lots of these heart helps kind of scattered around. So even if you take a lot of hits early on, you're still in a good position to fairly good position to be able to do some damage and keep yourself good here. Liberal use of this ability that you got from Krill is advised. It does, in fact, give you the ability to weaken their gauge quicker. I have fish companions now. Oh, come on. But you need 20 vitality to be able to do it. And you need 3 full things, so... Really not the thing that you can, really not something that I would recommend this early. Maybe a bit later. Anyway, a few more of these little things around here. You will be coming back to this area, so it's not really something you have to explore as much. But there are some enemies and some collectibles that would be beneficial to keep your eyes on. Oops. Special. Two-piece crab special from Popeyes. Let's go. There are a lot of these ones that are kind of trade-offs, which I find to be very interesting. I wonder if that's like a thing in Souls games. Obviously, I'm not as familiar with that, if there are any kind of perks or things like that. If there are, you know, that would certainly make sense. It certainly fit the vibe, you know what I mean? Now we can make up for some lost time here. Or maybe not, dude. Anyway. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. They're gonna know I'm not a bush. Bushes don't talk. It's gonna blow my cover. Alright, pal. Sorry about that. A little bit of progression to do here now. Or a little bit of traveling around to do here. Platforming. Completely forgot the word for it, honestly. But we're good. Let's keep it going. So as I said before, this is kind of the area where you start to the game's impact starts to be felt a lot harder. Yeah, the game starts to become a little bit more of the game, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more open area to explore, a lot more alternative paths to take, a lot more situations where it's like, you could go in one direction and then find yourself something, and then go in a different direction, and then find yourself a completely different thing. You know, you might be doing progression, but then you might also be doing something else, you know? Hey again. And of course, this is where a lot of the enemy, the larger enemy types start to, how do you know? But yeah, this is where a lot of the enemy types that you experience through the rest of the game start to manifest themselves. Those arrow guys especially are the ones where I feel like those are people that you're going to be seeing for the rest of the game. Honestly, I mean, this game doesn't have too many enemy types that you have to put up with, which I really do like, honestly. Even the ones that do feel like they're new are kind of more, like, region-specific. At least I've found. These guys you'll see forever, but any of the really kind of other enemies that you see are kind of like, they're appropriately scaled, is what I'm kind of trying to get at. This is one that can always be pretty fun here. In addition to the standard stabby stabbing, they've also got a little bit of a shield that they can use. Cow water. That's a weird ass logo. Yeah. Go up here. You don't need any hooks to do progression. You just need them to do to hook enemies. Which is why they kind of like, it's interesting that they introduce you to the hooks early on in the game. Because you start getting them really before you actually, you get them before you start being able to hook enemies in general, and then you get and then in addition to that, you get them before you start being able to use it as a actual ability. But I guess that's kind of like the intent, like it's, hey, you're gonna want to unlock this early, so if you have... Oh. What? die? I didn't even see him come in. What the hell was that? Well, anyway, more heart kelps for me. So, anyway, like I was saying before, like, this game does kind of... It does have some abilities that I feel like are essential to being able to kind of explore. And it will straight up tell you, like, hey, with the amount of these hooks that it gives you, it might be good to get these hooks, is kind of the lesson that they're trying to get at here. Just a bit of a feeling, you know? Obviously, like, the best thing about that hook is that you usually stun enemies when you pull them in. If they're larger enemies, maybe not. Like bosses, for an example. Oops. Even if I lose the shell, I was thinking I can at least get a little bit of the healing that I need. Oh, to be able to make that worth it. No idea why I decided to just stab him up raw there. No, barely any shell life. No shell life. To, you know, fighting that guy with the guy in the background who's gonna obviously try to kill me. I think I can manage this. We have the first, back here, of our optional boss fights. This guy is pretty much styled after our usual enemies. Usual kind of larger enemies. Swing on you crazy. Brought him down to half, so take a little bit of pride in that. I think I'd like to take a little bit more pride in is actually it's not gonna happen. The good news is as with normal bosses, the optional bosses do plop you right where you were, so you can decide to leave if you need to. But this guy, honestly, he doesn't have that much in the way of actual tricks. The biggest thing you really have to concern yourself with is, of course, the to you. Especially this early on. Oops. And to your shell as well. It's funny because most of these optional bosses, I'm going to see if I can get as many of them as I can. But most of them I kind of fought after I finished the game. So they were, like, really easy. You know, obviously this guy, I've been able to bring him down to half. Now, going on both times. Oops. Almost.
Wait.
Almost. See what I mean, though, about that uppercut? It is very worth it. Very worth it to invest early. Not paying attention to my surroundings there. But yeah, we're almost done with them, so I think we can do the next one. The only thing is that a lot of the shells down here are not really what I tend to stick with. Oops. Oh, wow. One of those all or nothing situations that did not end up working out in my favor, that one. Oh, no, I'm about to make the same mistake that I did last time. I think there was one back here, yes. Lost all of my gauge, though. I hate that. What is going on? Detect that completely. That's pretty cool. Oh. Nothing at this range. Sorry if I'm not looking at chat at the moment. I'm struggling with this one a little bit more than I thought I would be at this particular juncture. I think my experience with fighting him, like I mentioned this before, but my experience with fighting him before was I fought him after I finished the game. So I had the stats and abilities necessary to take him down. And he's not giving me too much trouble in terms of like the actual abilities he's hitting. The damage he can deal to me with that I have to worry about. Man. I keep feeling like I'm in a state where I should be able to parry him properly. Goodbye. So these optional guys, they honestly... Okay, there we go. They don't give you a crazy amount of special items. They might give you some stowaways that are a little bit, that pop up a little bit earlier than, you know, you may have expected them to before. But for the most part, the big thing to get them for is for the crystals, the purple crystals that you can use. And then make some serious upgrades. But yeah, they are optional bosses in every sense of the word. You know, there's a few more of them that are in this game. Some of them that are more optional than the others. Oops. But for the most part, I would say that there's a fair few of them that are kind of intended to be your just, hey, you can go off the beaten path and kill some extra guys if you'd like. In addition to some characters that are, I would say a little bit less optional. A little bit more kind of, you should go for these guys as quickly as possible. Here, be careful. You can kind of hear them in the back if you have headphones on, but for the most part, they are kind of just pay attention to their patterns more than anything. Anyway, this guy's in a mini-boss, but he is a tougher enemy type. And the introduction of a new enemy type that you will have to struggle with. The biggest thing with him is understanding the timing of his attacks. Because they're not what you would expect, if I'm being honest. The good news is with his crushing ability, he does kind of hone in a little bit more on where he's going to try and strike than the other moves where he kind of just is able to swing at you regardless of where you kind of decide you want to move. So that's the one attack where I feel like even if you dodge a little too early, you can still survive without taking too many shots. But anyway, another space that we can go to. And as a matter of fact, I think it'd be very beneficial for us to get ourselves an upgrade or two. What's nice about this game is that it does also kind of arrange certain things into important locations. So whenever you find a location that allows you to do an upgrade or buy something or sell something, it will generally kind of say straight up, hey, this is where you can, you know, make the most of it. Let's see. Plunging attack. Aggravation. Yeah, I think the shell repair is going to be pretty useful for us here. Getting ourselves a little bit of extra health. As I said, he will just kind of generally give you a little bit of an extra bit of info. So yeah, that gives me a good amount of extra defensive abilities, and we're going to need them going into this next fight that we're about to have. Next couple of fights that we're going to have, I should say, actually. But we'll see as we get there. I think I have enough to... I have some stuff that I want to sell too, so I'll go ahead and do that. I think it's kind of interesting because most of the stuff that you're going to buy throughout the game are on the lower crest. Most of the stuff that, like, you can buy the extra shells and the extra costumes upstairs, but honestly, most everything that you're gonna want to spend time on, or spend money on, is going to be here. Let's see. So yeah, it is kind of advised to sell these things off if you're finding they're not as useful to you. I think the stowaways are going to be what I focus on. Just from a pure, like, I need additional capability here. And as you can see, any character who you can have a chat with will generally kind of talk about the place that you're headed to or the progress that you're looking at. Ooh, almost forgot about that. He has a few of these key items that you can find in here. Things that are, this feels kind of unethical, haha. So I got 3 blood star limbs. I also got one of the stainless relics. I think the stainless relic is to make sure that you're able to get the upgrade over here in case you might have missed it at some point. But yeah, you need 2 to do the next upgrade. So one way or another, you still have a little bit of progression before it's properly timed. So that was good, honestly. Let's see. And I can do some upgrades too. Alright, let's keep it pushing. So yeah, the biggest thing here is honestly being able to make sure that, hey, if you get any unnecessary damage, which does happen, you know, like, even the most capable people that play this game are going to get, like, some ridiculous amounts of extra damage that they really shouldn't need to be held accountable for. Oh wow, I was getting gunked that whole time. Yeah, that was not smart. Yeah, I guess, like I was saying, even if you run into a situation where you're kind of like put up against the wall, you don't really have to suffer from it as much. But yeah, look at that damage that he does, man. Unreasonable amount of damage, honestly, if I do say so myself. They wind up for a long time, which is, I think, like, the biggest caveat there. It's not nearly as unfair because all of their attacks, you know, are heavy. But there we go. We just recovered basically all of that damage that we took, thanks to that one upgrade. And even if our shell breaks, that other upgrade that gives us the ability to, those 2 abilities that we got that give us the ability to, whoops, not what I wanted to do. Oh well. But that they have the ability that we got that gives us the shot that lets us deal double damage, and then we also have the ability that gives us invincibility if our shell is actually broken. Oh, so here you see a classic Souls-like emotion. Where you think there's one enemy, and then you look, and then there's actually more than one, kind of in the near vicinity. So yeah, that adds a lot of damage, honestly. And I mean, it's not better than perfect parries, even with the shell health recovery, but it's still pretty good, honestly. It's worth, it makes you feel less bad for not being able to block properly early on. Especially if you're able to get the shell head back. And these guys in particular are ones where I feel like they're very frustrating to put up with. But yeah, you might have seen me spark over there for just... Whoop, hello. Sorry, fellow guy, but I need this shell. Way more than you do. Fellow crab. I love how that crab looks like way more realistic than the other ones do. Perfect parrying range stuff does bounce it back, but again, with the amount of damage these guys do and the trickiness that it can be to put up with them, it might sometimes just be better to get in close and punish them that way. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but it's better. Trust me. Kill him too. Alright, the climb begins. This is a, oh, hold up. It's a bit of an interesting kind of upward trajectory you gotta take. A lot of bouncing from one place to another. And of course, the last place you saved is down there, so there is a little hook to be able to bring you back around, but you have to get there in order to be able to pull it off. Which I feel like I'm close. I think it's actually right over here. Knocking enemies off of cliffs always kills them, so as long as the ground isn't too close, so good thing to keep in mind your surroundings. Alright, so now we won't have to do all that again if we have to come back up here. And the good news is that if and when we die, next time we die, we're probably going to have to come up here to grab all our stuff, so... Umami skills are very good at getting around people's shields, too. Pro tip. There we go. Like, use those things as much as you can. Especially since you get it back. Like, I think that's the biggest thing about your umami skills, is that you will always, you do recover your umami as you go. The biggest thing is, of course, what is most worth it to you. Which skills are most worth it to you, to be able to kind of invest in. Once we get to my favorite shell, I'll show it off here. Speaking of which, I think I should show off the gun at some point. I think that'd be nice to do. Oh, I am kind of blatantly skipping over all of the NPC chats. Mostly, I mean, it's a way to kind of get to know them for the most part, but there's not a ton that they actually have to say in these early parts either, so... Oh. Well, okay then. But there's not a ton that they actually have to say, so it's like... It can be useful to hear them out, but it's not as essential as you may think. You're not going to miss out on any collectibles or anything like that if you don't chat with them or anything of that nature. And, I mean, you know, if you are curious about what they have to say, then that's your incentive to play this game yourself. I want you to play this game, so... I'm more here just to kind of show off how to progress properly and how to do it good. Oh, whoops. I missed that. That's honestly not that bad, though. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of moving around you have to do, but it's not as bad as you might think. Like, you're not having to climb up like a long distance of stuff to get back over here. Well, I don't think that worked the way that it should have, but I think he's about to give the side. Whoop. It's a very weird spot to find myself in with him because I have to find a good way to hit him. Oh, I could just loop around him, but oh, well, whatever. Lamb free. So actually, I think this was one that I really liked using, the health drain. But you need an additional attack in order to get it. So I need 3 additional attack. We're pretty close to that, so I'll just hold off. I have some stowaways that could raise me up to it. Actually, you know what? Do I have anything else that could bring me up to that level? I do not. I was thinking I had, oh, because I traded that one away. Oh well. Yeah, the defense one is more important for me right now, so... I'll hold on to that for the time being. Again, really adore like this boba fork or fork straw. This boba straw right here, I really adore. I also do really like how, and we'll see this as we go, but like some of the things that are in this area are kind of hinting at what we're about to see. But we also have this vacuum, which is not hinting at anything at all, so... Yeah! Got both of them. Very nice. Okay. So we're right around where we started. But obviously, and I'll just show you here. There was this bridge that we needed. So now we can loop all the way back. We can save, or we can use whatever we need to use. As a matter of fact, I think I'll see how much I got. Because next is going to be something very interesting, is all I'm going to say. I need to make sure that I scale all the rest of my upgrades. I really do like kind of metering it out like this. A little bit higher health, a little bit higher attack, and then kind of raising the rest of it up as needed. but have to make sure, because I know, like, my brain is just saying, like, I need that extra upgrade. But I think it said it was 28, right? Wasn't that what it said? Hold on a sec. It was 28, so I wouldn't have been able to get it anyway here. But I'll get some microplastics over the next little bit of time, and I'll be able to change that. I think my favorite thing about Souls-like games is when enemies are like clearly in distance of you and they're like standing guard in a different area. Like they have their back to me and they're just like, well, you know, it's fine. No big deal. All right. I think I want this one. So you get some sushi. Or actually, no. I'll hold on to this for now. So you get some sushi in this area. Nice little extra thing. A lot of food. And here we have a nice little sushi table. As we move into our first real pain point of this game. And yes, I have been dying up until this point. But this enemy, this boss here, oh, look at him. He's so cool. This boss is going to punish us. The intimidation crap. So as his name suggests, he is kind of intended to be your first true experience in the game with enemies that can deal, enemies that can place fear on you. Oops. Thought I dodged out of that. Like that.
No.
Oh. When you have intimidation placed on you, I'm missing the ability to actually mention it there. I brought him down to 20, almost to 50% that first time though, which is good. But anyway, intimidation makes it so that you're permanently in your shell for the amount of time that you have it placed on you. So you can't dodge and you can't move out of the way, and your shell takes whatever beating it needs to without there being any problem, without there being anything you can really do against it. Trust me, it likes doing a lot of different things after. That attack is probably one of the few that will honestly, I'm in a better position now, health-wise, than I've ever been. So, I feel like it's one of those things where I'm kind of uniquely attuned to be able to deal with that now, where I usually wouldn't be. But that is basically like an insta-kill. Like, don't even try. Anyway, the sushi lets you get 2 munches. Oh! And this is where I was saying it was a bit of a pain point, because much like most Souls-likes, he will change his form mid-fight. And that also changes his attacks as well. He gets this fun double slash. Yeah. The music didn't stop where I expected it to, but I knew that he got me off of that. So anyway, like I said, pain point, because it can be hard to prepare for what he's already got in his hands there. And then when it comes to fighting him after, it's changing phases. It's even more troubling. Alright, there we go. But he has in fact exploded. I'm lucky to the fact that this is a thing that I can roll around with, so he can't deal damage if I want to. Make as much use of adaptation here as you can. Because that makes it so that you take your stun damage, which you can then use to roll him. Oops. Also, he loses a lot of his stun off of that, too, so if you're wanting to stun him, you need to make plans to do it now. Oh god, that's it. No, it's not. He also changes his diving attack, as you didn't see. Instead of it being your kind of standard big slash, it becomes kind of a marching out move. Don't know why I decided to not heal in the middle of that, but there we go. So I'll grab myself some of the sushi here. The sushi, I mentioned munching it before. You spend the shield health to recover your actual health, is the thing. So if you're careful enough with it, you can make it last for a while. But it's not a permanent solution. Just something you want to use if you're at a hard health. Oh. Oh god. No idea how he missed me there, honestly. Oh, cool. Well, he didn't stay stunned for too long, unfortunately, but at least I stunned him before all my progress was going to be rewritten. Yes. I don't know what he's doing. Like his aim is, I don't know. Oh well. 2 parries. One more parry. And you're done. I almost did that right. I almost did that perfectly. And we got a stainless Lost relic, which means we have 2 now. In addition to that, we have a piece of the map! Yeah! Can't wait to get back to the city. This place is a huge bummer. A brilliant display. You may have promise yet, vagabond. There you are. I really could have used your help beating that guy. I was otherwise occupied. Think nothing of it. That beast was a mere speed bump besides. Nothing compared to the master that dwells within the village's sanctum, surely. I thank you for clearing the path, though. I press on. Oh, well, good for you, Kaiten. So we get the moon shell here. There's a little bit more progression that we can take to go forward, but in order to make that progression, we have to use the moon shell. We have to move back to the village here.